Hello, my friends. I thought it might be helpful if I made you a video on how to complete the personality and individual differences assignment. So please follow along with me. And if you have any other questions, of course, let me know. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on here, which I can't right now because I'm actually in the editing mode on this document, sorry, but you click on this and you can go to this personality test website. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to complete a personality test. Now, I'll let you know that the test does have 120 questions, and you may think, but in order to really understand something as complicated as the human personality, a test has to have a lot of questions. So if you need to take this in stages, I understand, that's fine. A lot of my students have said it takes them about 15 to 30 minutes to answer the questions. But like I said, if you want to take it and walk away for a moment and come back, that's okay too. You can do that. Just don't leave the site until you have finished it. Once you do, you should get information about yourself. And the first thing I want you to do is just to tell me 3 things you learned about yourself once you got the results. It might be things that you think, well, I already knew this, or it might be something new, but just tell me 3 things that the results tell you about yourself. Okay, and that's the first part. So step 2, you're going to do a couple different things. The first thing is you're going to tell me how well the test described you. So maybe you read the description, you're like, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand. It doesn't really say anything about me. Or maybe you think, wow, this test doesn't know me at all. That's okay. You can tell me that. Maybe you think the test is awesome and it knew you exactly. Maybe you're somewhere in between. That's perfectly fine. Just tell me how well you feel like those results described you. Okay, so that's number 1. That's the self-validation piece. But when we get to number 2, this is talking about the test itself. So if the 1, 2, 3 personality test is valid, it should measure personality. So if it measured personality, that means it's valid, even if you didn't like the results. If it did its job and measured personality, that makes it valid. So the question is, how valid do you think the test is? Well, again, look at what it measured. It should measure personality. That's what it claims it will measure. Did it measure personality? So if you're saying yes, it measured personality, then the answer is yes, it's valid because it measured personality. But if you're thinking, no, this didn't seem to measure personality, maybe it measured anxiety, maybe it measured math skills, then that would be invalid. You would say, no, it's not valid because it measured something different than what it claimed to measure. Okay, so when you're answering number 2, don't look at the results of the test. Okay, this is not about how much you liked them. It's about whether or not the test actually measured, excuse me, what it said it would measure. I am so sorry. My allergies. Okay, number 3. Number 3 asks you to imagine you took the test again and gave almost the same or similar answers. I am not asking you to take the test again, just once. But if you were going to take it again, the question is, do you feel like if you gave all those answers that you gave before, you gave them again, do you feel like this test would give you the same results again? Like, do you have any doubts about that? If you're thinking, no, I think it would pretty much give me the same, that makes the test reliable. So down here, the question is, do you think this test is reliable? Is it consistent? Do you feel like anybody who gave those answers would pretty much get the same results you did? Or do you feel like it might not be reliable? Maybe the computer algorithm it's based on, it would generate different results. So you want to tell me why. So if you're saying, yes, it's reliable, well, probably because you feel like if you took it again, you would get consistent results. But if you're saying, no, this test is unreliable, you might say it's because you feel like if you took it again, you would get different results for the same answers. Okay, keep in mind, if you change your answers, a reliable test will change its results. So saying I would probably change my answers, therefore I would get different results, does not make the test unreliable, okay? Because you want it to change if you change your answers. So let's look at the last part, step 3. This is where you're going to write a paragraph and you're going to explain, excuse me, your results. And in that paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, You're going to tell me, what did the test teach you about yourself? Guys, maybe the test didn't teach you anything. That's okay. Maybe you really know yourself. Or maybe you learned some cool new things. Or maybe you disagree with the test. You can tell me about all of that in step 3. Okay? Or you may not disagree at all. I mean, again, it's up to you. This is where you get to decide what to say. But the second part, which parts were not beneficial and why not? Again, you might have taken one of the tests, you might have taken the test and you feel like, well, this section over here didn't really help me out, or some of the questions repeated themselves and that was not useful. So you're just kind of telling me about your experience of taking the test and your reaction to the results. Okay? And then that's it. I do want to point out, you are writing a paragraph. You are not making a list. So you should not answer and then answer. You should down here write a paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences explaining what the test taught you, if anything, and what part of the test you found not beneficial and why. Okay? So make sure you focus on writing for your purpose. And then you will turn this in to me and I will grade it and you will be done. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I am always happy to help.